Should old acquaintance be forgot? Welcome to Morning Message for December the 31st. I've never been one who much enjoyed going out on New Year's Eve to take part in all the festivities and that sort of thing. I'd much rather stay home and have a quiet night. That's not to say I haven't gone out and done that partying thing, particularly in my younger days. I do remember being with some friends when the calendar switched from 1999 to 2000, and we stood outside, expecting satellites and airplanes to fall from the sky. Everything was supposed to go for naught at that point because our computers only went up to the last day of 1999, and there's supposed to be complete disaster. There wasn't. I can't say I was disappointed. I'm glad that our computers managed to reset themselves or do whatever had to be done. And disaster was averted in some way at that time. I do remember one New Year's Eve that I particularly enjoyed. It must have been a snowstorm or something like that. And I found myself in the living room at my parents' home with my dad, and we were watching television. And the movie that came on was The Blues Brothers. John Belushi, Dan Aykroyd, the Blues Brothers. And I really enjoyed watching that with Dad. I was with it enough to know who all the cameos were that were in it, from Princess Leia to Steven Spielberg, and I was able to point all those people out to Dad. And it took some convincing at first to let him know that the janitor was Cab Calloway. And it wasn't until he started singing Minnie the Moocher that my dad was convinced. And the two of us thoroughly enjoyed watching the movie and seeing people like Cab Calloway performing in it. It was truly an enjoyable New Year's Eve to spend with Dad watching that particular show. One of the challenging things is kind of this year is one of the offhanded comments that I'm hearing a lot of. People are really looking forward to the year 2020 coming to an end. And it has been a challenging year in so many ways, and I don't want to repeat any of those things. But unfortunately, that kind of negative attitude towards a particular year negates or lessens the significance of some really important things that happened in the year as well in our own personal lives. For example, we had one bishop in our diocese retire and another bishop got elected. And despite the fact that we're in the middle of a pandemic, those are still exciting things for the individuals involved and for the diocese as well. I have had friends who've given birth, and that's an exciting thing. That's something for us to celebrate. And 2020, I hope, will be remembered as much, if not more, in their lives for those significant things, those significant changes, those happy moments that have taken place in their own lives. People have graduated high school and gotten married and given birth and done all sorts of things in the year 2020 that ought to be celebrated. So in the months, years ahead, when we look back on 2020, my hope is that we will remember those good and positive things as well. And also to acknowledge the real pain and suffering that went on during the year as well. And my hope is, and maybe I'm the first one to say this, I doubt it, but my hope is that there will be memorials built around our country, around the world, not only featuring those whose lives were lost, but those people whose jobs are clearly essential, from frontline workers in terms of the healthcare system, to truck drivers and people that work in grocery stores and people that delivered pizza to me, and whatever else that was essential during the year. That there are some way to recognize permanently all of those people and the tremendous sacrifice, the tremendous gifts that they gave to the world during a tremendously difficult year, but a year that was also marked by some really positive and wonderful things in the lives of many, many people. So I hope 2020 goes down in history as an opportunity to honor and recognize those essential people throughout the year, but also an opportunity for us to recognize and celebrate some really wonderful things that happen in our lives as well. So as we go into this new year, my prayer is that God will continue to bless each and every one of you. God bless. Amen.